demanding this for a long while and I have been pushing it. I know, I'm sorry, but now I'm finally getting the time. I'm through with my ICSE commitments, so I'm gonna start recording Tempest. It's been long due, so I'm gonna get to the point. I am catering to only ISC grade 12 for this academic year. For next year, देखेंगे grade 11 के लिए time मिला तो I'll start making. But for now, what I'm looking at is to record Act 3, Act 4 and Act 5. I'm gonna do this in a better way so it's easier for you to remember. So we'll do Act 3 Scene 1 and Act 4. Then we'll proceed to other scenes because Act 3, Scene 1 and Act 4 are connected. It's a sequence going on. So that's what the plan is. I hope to cover Tempest through November. So every week I'll be putting up a couple of scenes. Starting today, I'm doing Act 3, Scene 1 of the Tempest. So let's begin. Before I start, I just want to point out, I'm sure your teachers must have guided you already, but there's a difference in ISC and ICSE in the way that the play needs to be approached. In ICSE, your focus was mainly on keywords. You were trying to understand each and every word, each and every sentence. You were supposed to remember the lines, almost rote learn some of those dialogues. But ISC is not like that. ISC you can write in your own words. Yes, keywords matter here and there, but keywords in this is not the language that Shakespeare uses. It's mainly the names and the characters and the adjectives used for certain characters, so that's what you need to remember. So do not waste time trying to dissect every single word because it's not going to help you. It will make things miserable for you. You are supposed to focus on each line only so that you can answer the MCQs and the give reasons, but otherwise for the RTCs you need to focus only on the play overall. Act 3 Scene 1 that I'm starting off with, at this point everybody has already read the scene, so you know what's happening. Ferdinand has been tasked with doing some work for Prospero, and Miranda is in love with Ferdinand. Ferdinand is in love with Miranda, but they've not had a formal interaction. They've not declared their love to each other yet. They are going to do it in this scene. Alright, it would really help if you talk to your parents and ask them about this movie called Maine Pyar Kiya. This was Salman Khan's movie. This scene that we are watching right now is straight off that movie, because in that also Salman Khan is this rich guy who goes to woo this girl who's been insulted by Salman Khan's family members and thrown aside. Nothing like that happens in this play, but the tones are similar. So the father tells Salman Khan, agar teko meri beti chahiye to kaam karke dikha mere ko ki you're worth it. What can you do for her? So Salman Khan indulges in some labor. This is exactly what's happening over here. Prospero has given certain menial tasks to Ferdinand. In this scene particularly, the task is to carry logs of wood and pile them up so they can be used later. And Ferdinand is a prince. He's never done any such things. So, but he's doing it willingly right now, only because he knows that he can get Miranda this way, right? So that's what he's working at. When the scene begins, we see Ferdinand. He's doing some hard work and he's talking to himself. So he's convincing himself that, yaar, it's okay, abhi torturous lag raha, but baad mein maza hi maza. Aaj saza hai, kal maza hai. That's what he's thinking. And that's when Miranda enters and also Prospero enters. Prospero is in this scene, but invisible, like Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. He's got some magic powers, so nobody can see him. The audience can see him, but nobody else can see him. Alright, so it's the two characters. They indulge in some romantic banter. I'm going to read the lines, then I'm going to explain it to you. Alright, the first line is Ferdinand talking to himself. He's bearing a log, he's carrying a log, and he's saying, there be some spots are painful, and their labor delight in them set off. The first sentence. He says, there be some sports are painful, some tasks, some games, game of love over here. This task that I'm doing eventually is a game of love I'm playing for my beloved Miranda. Definitely painful, but then maza to pain mein hi hai. So the line is, their labor delight in them sets off. The line simply means the discomfort that I'm facing in these tasks makes the labor more interesting. So I think it's good. It's like a sweet workout. When you work out in the gym, it's painful, but you're enjoying it because you know that the results are going to be great. The next line is, some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone. Some kinds of baseness, as in some base tasks. The menial labor that I'm doing, some lowly activities are done for noble reasons. And most poor matters point to rich ends. Like what seems like a bad bargain right now, most poor matters, right now if someone watches me doing this, they might think that I'm hardly being paid anything, I'm not gaining anything, but they point to rich ends. What I'm going to yield in the end, the result I'm going to get towards the end is going to be a wonderful result. Easy. आराम से पहले marking कर ले. There be some sports which are painful, there are some tasks which are menial, but the labor delight in them sets off. The hard work makes the task more interesting. Like I'm getting that sweet pleasure. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, that some menial tasks have noble outcomes, and what's poor right now will yield richer results in the end. So poor matters point to rich ends. सारे markings कर ले, एक एक word को dissect मत करना, सिर्फ पूरे sentences को समझ. This mean task, what mean task is he referring to? The task of holding the log of wood, carrying the log of wood back and forth, piling on these log of wood. So this work is definitely boring and odious. The word odious over here is nasty, unpleasant. It's definitely unpleasant for me, but I am doing this for a woman. I'm doing this for a mistress. The next line. But the mistress which I serve, Miranda is talking about, the mistress I'm doing this for, quickens what is dead. What's dead, what's boring, what's unpleasant, she makes it more interesting. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father is crabbed. Father's crabbed, matlab father is crabbed. Crabbed over here is crabby. Crabby over here is irritable. Her dad is definitely an unpleasant person. I hate him. But she's 10 times wonderful, more wonderful than he is. And he's to the worst. So she is definitely the best. So that's the line, original line. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father is crabbed, crabby. And he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. Ulta padenge. The sore injunction given to me, sore is severe, injunction is condition, instruction. The severe instruction given to me is that I must remove is move. I must move some thousands of these logs and pile them up. So he's given me this task of moving the logs of wood and pile them up in one corner. And my sweet mistress is Miranda. She weeps. I've seen her weep for me, cry for me when she sees me work. And she says that such baseness had never a like executor. Such baseness over here is the task that I am performing. Such baseless jobs, this mean task, has never been performed by someone like me. The word like over here is similar, and executor over here is himself. I am executing the task of carrying the log of wood. She has never seen someone like me execute a task like this before. I forget. She makes me forget these tasks. You know, when I'm thinking of her, I don't realize how hard I'm working or how difficult this job is. But these sweet thoughts refresh my labor. Sweet thoughts of Miranda, they make this labor more refreshing. Even when I'm most busiest when I do it. No matter how busy I am, I don't feel the pain at all. I don't think that I'm working hard at all because Miranda makes it better for me. Alright guys, the second paragraph. This is when Miranda enters, things become more interesting, more romantic. When Miranda enters, we also see, remember we are watching a play, so we also see Prospero entering, but he can't be seen by the other two characters using his magical powers. He enters behind them. He is there to spy on these people. Reminds you of anyone else? Our brown parents. They always know what we are up to somehow. Anyway, so Prospero is following Miranda and Miranda enters and she is distressed to see this noble, good-looking guy working so hard. So her dialogue is, alas now, pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Alas now is her expression of nahi. Pray you is I request you. Work not so hard. Please don't work so hard. I really wish that there was a lightning that would burn up all these logs that you have been enjoined. Enjoined is instructed to pile on. So if there are no logs left, you won't have to work so hard. So please stop working so hard. Pray you, I request you. Set it down and rest you. I want you to take some rest. Just set down those piles. You can work later and just take some rest right now. When this burns, it will weep for having wearied you. When this burns, this over here is these logs of wood, when they are ultimately burned, because obviously you need logs of wood to keep yourself warm. So when these logs of wood are burned, I'm sure that they are going to weep, they are going to cry because they made a person like you work so hard for them. So when this burns, this over here is the logs of wood, twill over here is it over here is a log of wood. Will weep is cry for having because they made you wearied is they made you so tired, so exhausted, having to pile them, having to carry them. My father is hard at study. Right now, my dad is working somewhere, he's studying somewhere, so, you know, we've got some time. You actually don't have to work, he's not watching you. Pray you, I request you, rest yourself, take some rest. He's safe for these 3 hours. He's safe as in he's away. We are safe from him for 3 hours at least. Alright, next dialogue. So Ferdinand is like, yeah, you know what, I really want to stop working, but I can't. He doesn't say that. He says, you know, it's going going to take me all day long to actually finish this task. So it's going to be sunset and I still don't think I'll complete my task. Oh my dear mistress, that's obviously Miranda. The sun will set. The sun will set as in the day is going to end before I discharge. Discharge is before I finish what I've been instructed to do, what I'm striving to do. And Miranda is like, you know what? If you sit down, I'll bear the logs for a while and let me carry the logs for a while. That way you can finish your task and you don't have to pause at all. Pray, I request you, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile. He's like, no way, dude. That can't happen. No, you precious creature. Precious creature is you sweetheart. Babu Chiki, I say, like, you know, you precious creature. I'd rather crack my sinews. Sinews is I'd rather crack my muscles. I'd rather break my back and I'd rather work myself out, tire myself out than let you work while I'm lazily sitting by. So that cannot be. No precious creature. I'd rather crack my sinews. Sinews is muscles. Break my back as in hurt myself. But I would not let you go through such dishonor. What dishonor? The dishonor of doing the menial work that I am assigned to do while I sit lazily by. Miranda is like, that's sweet. It's sweet that you don't want me to work, but it would become me as it becomes you. Like, dude, come on, like gender neutrality, right? Like, if you can do it, so can I. It would become me. It over here is the task of carrying the logs of wood. Would become me is would suit me as it suits you. She says that I would do it with much more ease because I've got goodwill by my side. Like, I want to do it. You know, I want to do it for you while your will, it is against. As in, your will is against it. You don't want to do it. I don't want you to do it. I want to do the work for you. So I think I can do it with much more ease. Allow me to do it. So Prospero, the father, is listening to this and he's like, dude, this is love, man. You poor worm, you poor creature. You are infected. Obviously, this worm is out of affection. It's not like keede makode. Thou art infected, matlab tujhe pyar hua, Allah mia. Sorry, that was cringe. He's like, dude, you are definitely in love. This visitation shows it. Visitation over here is your behavior. You're offering to do this work for him. That clearly shows that you're in love with him and you just don't realize it yet. Miranda is talking. She says, you look verily, you look very exhausted, very tired. He says, no, noble mistress. I'm as fresh right now as I'm in the morning when you're around. Also, I don't know your name yet. I request you to tell me your name so that when I pray, I can use your name in my prayers and pray on your behalf, pray for you. So, no, noble mistress, I'm as fresh in the morning when you're near me and I beg you to tell me your name so that I can use it in my prayers. Miranda obviously answers truthfully. She says, Miranda is my name, and she's like, damn it. Oh, father's not there. Like, he's there, but Miranda doesn't know her father's there. So when she says, oh, father, the figure of speech over here is an apostrophe. Apostrophe is when you are addressing someone who's dead or something that's abstract or someone who's not present over there. Her father's not there according to her. So she's like, oh, father, I broke your hest. I've broke your hest as I've broken your command. Prospero had told her not to reveal her name to anyone, but obviously she's infatuated by this person. I'm so sorry, father. I broke your hest. And Ferdinand obviously catches the name Miranda and he's like, oh, what a beautiful name. Miranda in Latin means admired. And indeed, you are admired by everybody. So he puns on the name Miranda. He says, admired Miranda, as in you are indeed somebody who deserves all the admiration. Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. You are more admired than anyone else in this world. You are indeed somebody who deserves every bit of admiration. The next line, full many lady I have eyed with the best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. Simply means, I have seen many women and appreciated many women in the past, and many a time the harmony of their tongues. Harmony of their tongues, matlab the sweet nothings that come out of their mouth, the way they sweetly talk to me, hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. My ears have been seduced. I have been seduced by what they have said. For several virtues have I liked several women. In the past, I have liked many women. I have appreciated many women for the various qualities that they've had. Never any with so full soul. I have liked several women for their several virtues. Never any with so full soul. As in, I've never liked anyone completely. I've never loved anyone as much as I like you right now. And the reason for that is, each one of them had some fault or the other, some defect in them. Did quarrel matlab they managed to dominate the good qualities that the women had. So no matter how many good qualities these women had in the past, some or the other fault I would find in them would negate the good qualities. Did quarrel with the noblest grace matlab no matter how many good qualities she owed matlab she had, and put it to foil. It over here is the good qualities. The good qualities would be put to foil matlab overshadowed by the defect or the flaw that I would find in them. But you, oh you are so perfect and you're so peerless faultless, so flawless, and you are created of every creature's best. Every person's best quality has been put together to create you. Miranda loves the way this person is appreciating her, but she doesn't know any other women besides herself. She's never been with any other human. She's not even seen other men apart from her father and now this guy. So she says, I do not know one of my sex. Sex here is gender. I do not know one of my sex. I've never seen another woman. No woman's face remember save from my glass, my own. The word save over here is except. The word glass over here is mirror. I don't remember, as in I don't know any other woman's face besides mine own, which I see in the mirror every day. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. Nor have I seen a person who I can call a man, except for you, friend, and my father. Like, you are the only two people who I know to be men. So how features are abroad, I'm skillless of. How other women look, how other people look abroad is outside of this island, I have zero idea. I don't know how humans are supposed to look, but I swear by my modesty. By any sentence in Shakespeare that starts with by is I swear by. I swear by my modesty, my virginity, my chastity, my purity, the jewel in my dower, the only thing that I possess, the only thing that I'm proud of is my virginity, is my chastity, my purity, my modesty. In my dower, the word dower here is dowry. In my dowry, so I swear by this modesty that I would not wish, I can't imagine having anyone else as a companion except for you. So I do not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. And I can't imagine that I would like anyone else except you. But I prattle too much. I think I'm speaking too much. I'm talking too much. It's love. It's making me talk so much despite what my father warned me against. So precepts over here is ethics. Like my father had told me not to talk so much. But here I am chattering, talking, blabbering away because I think I'm in love with you. I prattle something too wildly and my father's precepts are my father's condition, rules, ethics. I therein do forget. I have forgotten what he had said. So Ferdinand says, Miranda, I am in my condition a prince. I am in my condition simply means despite what you're looking at right now, me carrying all of this, doing all of this, I am a prince after all. And you know, if my dad's dead, and I hope he's not, but if he is, then I'm also king right now. So the next line, I do think a king. So I'm not just a prince, but I also think I'm a king. I would not though. Would over here is wish. Wish not is I wish I'm not a king, because that would mean that my dad is dead and I don't want my father to be dead. But I would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. He says, honestly, I'm a prince, maybe even a king, and if it were to me, doing this slavery is as good as letting flies breed in my mouth. I am a prince, I'm maybe even a king, and that is if my dad's dead, but I don't want my father to be dead. And indulging in slavery like this is as good as letting flies breed in my mouth. I would no more endure is tolerate, this wooden slavery is this carrying the logs of wood, more than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Flesh fly blow my mouth simply means letting flies breed in my mouth. But hear my soul speak. Listen to my soul speaking to you right now. The very instant that I saw you, the first moment that I saw you, my heart was stolen by yours. You did my heart fly to your service, as in I was at your service. I submitted myself to you. There resides to make me slave to it, as in my heart now resides with yours. You have stolen my heart, and I am in service to you now. I don't mind working for you. And for your sake am I this patient log man. It's because of you that I don't mind carrying these logs or indulging in slavery like this. It makes me happy when I serve you. Miranda says, do you love me? And Ferdinand says, oh heaven, oh earth. He's talking to all elements of nature. You guys bear witness. You are witness to whatever I'm about to say. And if what I'm saying is true, then please reward me. And if I'm lying, then take back all my rewards. In fact, invert it and give me all the curses that are in store with you. He says, O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound. Heaven and earth, your witness to me speaking. Crown what I profess with kind event if I speak the truth. Reward me. Reward me if you feel I'm saying the truth. And if I'm hollowly is if I'm lying, then invert. Invert is reverse. Reverse what best is boded me to mischief. Invert whatever best is in store for me. Invert it and curse me instead. Let me be cursed if I'm lying. Beyond all limit of what else in the world that I, the apostrophes in the world, do love, prize, honor you. Beyond everything else in the world, I respect you, I love you, I honor you, Miranda. And Miranda's crying, she's emotional. And she's like, I'm a fool to weep at what I'm glad of. She's got tears, she's overwhelmed. I feel foolish that I'm crying in front of you, right? Prospero is very happy to see this. He's orchestrated this whole thing and he really wants them to fall in love. And when he's watching this happen in front of him, he's also feeling proud as a father, you know, he wants her to be happy. So he says, aside, obviously they can't hear him, he says, fair encounter. Fair encounter is what a lovely romance brewing between the two of them. Of two most rare affections, of two people falling in love. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them. The word that over here is love. Heavens rain grace, malab, I hope God's bless whatever this is that's developing between them. Ferdinand says, wherefore weep you? As in, why are you weeping? Why are you crying? And she says, I'm crying because I'm feeling unworthy. And the reason I'm feeling unworthy is because I'm unable to openly tell you what I want to give you and what I want to take from you. I'm feeling very shy and I'm feeling very scared to open up my heart to you. But you know what? I'm going to stop being so shy. I'm going to stop being so cunning, and I'll just be prompt and forthcoming. I want to tell you that I want to marry you. I want to be your wife. Whether you like it or not, even if you refuse me as your wife, I'll be your servant and I'll serve you forever. Alright, this was me talking. Let's look at the line so you understand it better. She says, I am weeping, wherefore weep you was a question. And Miranda answers, I am weeping at mine unworthiness. I am weeping because I feel unworthy. Why do I feel unworthy? That dare not offer what I desire to give. That I'm unable to be brave enough, dare not offer is I'm unable to be brave enough to offer what I really desire to give you. I'm unable to offer you what I want to give you. She's talking about her heart, her feeling, her love, her virginity, her chastity, everything. And much less take what I shall die to want. As in, I'm unable to even demand or take from you what I really want. His love and his affection. But this is trifling. Trifling is wasting time. Why am I wasting time? Because all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. The more I'm trying to hide my feelings, the more obvious, bigger bulk, the more obvious they become. It over here is a feeling. Hence, bashful cunning. The word bashful over here is shy. I'll stop playing with words. I'll stop, and instead I'll encourage myself to be plain and innocent. I am your wife if you will marry me. I am ready to be your wife if you will marry me. And if not, then I'll die your maid. As in, I'll die a virgin. I'll die unmarried. But I will only marry you. To be your fellow, you may deny me. Ulta padna. You may deny having me as your fellow. Fellow over here is wife. So the fact that I want to become your wife, you have every right to say no to it. But I'll be your servant whether you will or not. Will over here is want. Want or not. And Ferdinand is like, my mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever. As in, I want you as my wife. I will love you, dearest, and I really want it with all my heart. My husband then? Miranda puchti hai. Will you be my husband then? I, yes, with a heart as willing as bondage, ever of freedom. He says, the way a slave wants freedom, bondage is slave. The way a slave wants freedom, more than that, my heart wants to become your husband. Here's my hand. And he offers his hand. And Miranda says, and here's mine. And with my heart in it, as in we are together now. And now farewell till half an hour hence. As in, I'll see you in half an hour again, because now it's time I should go home before my father catches us. So I'll see you again in half an hour. A thousand simply means a million goodbyes to you. Bye, 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 bye. Aise karke they exit. Exit is multiple people exiting. So Ferdinand and Miranda have exited. Prospero is still on stage. He talks to the audience. He says, so glad of this as they, I can't be. I can't be as happy as they are, because in a way he's orchestrated this. So he's not surprised, but he's like, I'm not as happy as they are, but I can't be happier. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. As in, I can't be happier at anything else right now. I'll do my book. I'll return to my studies. I'll get back to studying because yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining. For because supper time, before dinner tonight, I have much business to attend to. I have to get back to my studying because before supper time, I still have a lot to do. Prospero also exits. Alright. So we are done with one scene, Act 3, Scene 1. Technically, you guys did this in grade 11, but now you have it in grade 12. I hope this made sense to you and you've actually understood it. It's my first attempt at The Tempest, but I hope I've done a decent job. If every line made sense to you, if you've understood this play properly, then I think my job is done. The next scene that I'll be teaching is Act 4 because it's connected to this. So I want to maintain the sequence, the chronology, and then we move ahead simultaneously with different scenes. All the best. Do well. If you don't understand, if you're my students and you're watching this, then I'm seeing you every Tuesday. So you can ask me your doubts if you still have doubts after this. If you're not my student and you have doubts, then you can leave your doubts in the comment section. Take care. Bye. See you. Stay in good health. Love you guys.